Are you sure what's making you tired is age? Are you sure a discreet habit isn't quietly wrecking your marriage? And are you sure silence is the safest way to get through tonight? I'm Dr. Emily Carter, a urologic surgeon. I'm here to say the things men rarely put into words in a slow and kind enough voice that you won't feel judged. If you've ever hidden a sigh when you turn off the light, ever worried because your body is slower, ever wondered, am I normal when it comes to masturbation? This video is for you. We will loosen each myth, no rushing, no painting on miracles. Just point back to the science so tonight is calmer and tomorrow morning feels less heavy. If these opening minutes feel worth staying for, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the deep dive parts and the practice maps I'll send next. If you feel the content touches exactly what you've been concerned about, leave a 1 in the comments. If not yet, just leave a 0 and write the word KET. I read every line so I can speak more accurately to you next time. No one is pushing you to agree or believe right away. I only want to verify the facts with you, night after night, the way grown men have a dialogue with their own bodies. We'll start with what's most misunderstood. Who actually does that? Why sensation can sometimes turn distant even when you're beside the one you love, and how much is truly too much? So you can reset the rhythm with confidence. When the myths are set down, you'll find you have more room to breathe. And from that room to breathe, we keep going step by step until you can say, tonight, I was a little different. It's time to say plainly what adults rarely say. This isn't just a men's issue, and it isn't an issue only for people who are lonely. Large surveys show that both sexes are present in this habit, which means the thing that makes you feel guilty isn't the behavior itself, but the shadow of judgment we've carried from some earlier time. When you set that shadow down, you'll hear more clearly the quiet benefits so many people mention. Sleep that's less bumpy, a mood that's less tense, a kinder look at your own body. Have you forgotten the lightness that comes from understanding what you want without harming anyone? If the answer is yes, tonight we only need to start with a breath that's longer than usual. A small signal for body and mind to stop shoving each other. That doesn't mean unconditional encouragement. Every body has boundaries, and those boundaries change with age, medical conditions, medictions, work schedules, and stress levels. Wisdom doesn't lie in denial, but in knowing how to give this habit its proper seat. The right place, the right time, the right way. Many people avoid this topic in marriage for fear of being misunderstood. But many couples keep things smooth not because they avoid it, but because they dare to speak. Consent isn't just a nod. It's an agreement about boundaries, frequency, context, and ways for a private behavior not to press down on the shared feeling. Picture a quiet evening, low light, an opening line that doesn't indict. I'm learning to listen to my body so that when I'm with you, I don't ask it to run faster than it can. How would you feel if we set a few ground rules so it's comfortable for both of us? When people are asked in a non-judgmental voice, they often become kinder than we expect. A relationship usually frays at the point of silence, not because of a single truthful sentence. If you're still hesitant, write down one short line you most want to say and tuck it in your wallet. When the time comes, just take it out and read it so the words pass through the paper before they pass through your throat. Your body isn't betraying you. It just needs more rest between beats. The refractory period after ejaculation lengthens with age, like a machine that needs more cool down to run smoothly. If you place your private habit too close to an intimate encounter, don't be surprised if your body runs late that night. So instead of blaming yourself, learn to time it. For younger people, the interval can be short. For middle age, give the body more margin. For older age, sometimes a quiet night is the gift that lets everything feel alive again tomorrow. You can try keeping a small bedside notebook to record the time, the feeling, and how you slept afterward. Over 14 nights, you'll see your own grain emerge where the golden window shows up without anyone having to prove it. An uncomfortable but necessary question. When was the last time you let your body decide its schedule instead of your worry deciding it? A common hidden issue is technique that's too idiosyncratic, too fast a rhythm, too strong a force, too narrow an angle, which gradually pulls your sensation away from reality when you're with the person you love. It's not that you have less desire, it's that your brain has learned a shortcut too many times. To return to the shared road, broaden what your brain expects, slow the rhythm, soften the force, add pauses, attend to your breath, and change the setting from hurried to unhurried. This needs no speech, just a small decision repeated long enough. If one night you change 2% of the old way, in 14 nights you can change a habit. Do you believe 2% is enough to make tomorrow's conversation less tense? When technique softens, the body often responds with a greater sense of closeness, and the insecurity of "it doesn't feel the same as when I'm with my partner" thins on its own like mist. If the scary things people warn about were true, the world would have darkened long ago. There's no credible evidence that this habit ruins your eyes or shatters your mind. There is everyday evidence that guilt is what wears people down. There's no evidence it makes a marriage less happy. Some couples use it to reduce performance pressure so that when they meet because they want to, not to pass a test. When we stop running after the noise of rumors, we can hear the footsteps of our own. Which sound do you want to hear more? There isn't a number that's right for everyone. Some lives get disrupted by a small frequency, and some stay smooth with a larger one. The measure lies in whether it intrudes on your work, your dates, your sleep, the promises you've made to your partner, whether it pushes you away from real encounters or forces you to lie to keep going. If it does, that's no longer a habit, that's a tether. The way to loosen a tether isn't to chop it off, but to step back gradually, change the time, change the place, change the stimulus, add daytime movement, add water, add sunlight, add a trusted friend to help you name your emotions. When needed, find a sex therapist or a psychologist, not because you're broken, but because you're brave enough to tighten a screw that's come loose. Here's a painful but fair question. If you do a notch less tonight and you sleep half an hour deeper tomorrow morning, which choice is kinder to you? Many people report a calmer mood, neater sleep, and stress stepping back a pace after reaching orgasm in a safe space. Hormones explain part of it, but the rest comes from the feeling of being allowed by yourself. Even so, don't turn a habit into a sprint. Skin needs care too, so use proper lubrication if you're dry. Don't let pornography lead while you forget to listen to your body. If you have underlying conditions or use medications that affect blood vessels, let your doctor know. Safety isn't barbed wire, it's a road, with clear lane markings so every vehicle stays in its lane. Some studies suggest that regular ejaculation may accompany certain long-term markers that look favorable for the prostate. But scientific conscience tells us to speak just enough. That's correlation, not a magic spell. What you can control remains regular checkups, movement, nutrition, sleep, and stress management. Don't borrow the name of health to justify a habit that's causing trouble. And don't borrow fear as an excuse to reject something that could be healthy. We don't need oaths. We only need a bedside notebook. Each night before sleep, choose one small decision. Wider timing, softer technique, a more breathable context. Each morning, write exactly one line. What's different from yesterday? When those short lines line up, you'll see your own body answering in place of every theory. If you feel ready, leave a number in the comments. 1 for start tonight, 0 for still jammed here, with the exact word "ket" so I can read the right knot to loosen in the next video. No one is grading you, the notebook is yours, and a graph that rises slowly is yours too. Let an emotional loop run alongside. A question each night, an answer each morning, and a cup of hot tea each week as a reward. When a journey is gentle enough, it lengthens by itself without a whip. The emotional crest in the middle, the question you don't want to hear but need to hear. If silence tonight means a heavier tomorrow, will you lift a small sentence in exchange for a longer breath? If a discrete habit is replacing real moments, are you brave enough to put your hand on the brake? Not out of guilt, but because you love your real life more? And if you leave everything as is, which will worsen first, your body, or the invisible distance between you and the one you love? Don't answer quickly. Let the question lie under your pillow tonight. In the morning, you'll know what to do. When boundaries are clear, we're gentler with each other. Try changing one small detail. Instead of, "I do this because he," say, "I'm learning how to keep my energy intact for us when I'm with you." Instead of, "I don't like," say, "I want us to have a small agreement so it's easy for both of us to breathe." Older adults don't need speeches. They need sentences that can make it to tonight's dinner table without choking anyone. A mature relationship doesn't cling to any single technique. It relies on two people who are tired enough of misunderstandings to choose to stand on the same side. By now, you have enough pieces to assemble your own map. Less judgment, more understanding, generous timing by age, softer techniques so sensation moves closer to real life, rumor set down, noticing when a habit has become a tether, safe steps, looking at the prostate with a responsible eye, and keeping a 14-night ritual as your personal little calendar. From that map, you'll know which stretch needs more time and which can be passed. If you want to go deeper into timing by age group or adjusting technique to fit each couple's field conditions, just say a sentence in the comments. I read it so I can speak more accurately next time. And before we move to the conclusion, keep this very short line in your pocket. Don't demand that your body run fast when what it needs is a smooth stretch of road. When the road evens out, you'll be surprised how much farther you go, with fewer sighs. In closing, we don't sell miracles and we don't nudge. We simply hand you a smoother road to get through the night. Understand your body, allow generous timing by age, soften techniques so sensation moves closer to real life, and keep a 14-night notebook so you can see yourself change. That's what sets us apart from the hype channels. You don't need to believe me, you only need to measure yourself. Tonight, choose one small action. Tomorrow morning, write one line. Repeat long enough, and inner order will quietly return. If this content helps you feel less tangled, subscribe to the channel to receive the 14-night map and the next video on timing by age group. Leave a 1 if you're ready to start tonight. Leave a 0 if you're still ket. Write the exact word ket so I can read it and help untie it in the next part. No one is rushing you. We'll go slow and steady, keeping a rhythm like breathing. And if you need a pocketable line, let me borrow Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. When that power returns to your hands, the night will feel shorter and the morning half a beat lighter.